This week's best MMA bets, we're talking UFC Vegas 92. I'm going to give you guys my lock of the week, my most confident picks, favorite underdogs. We'll talk DGen props of the night, and then we'll finish it out with the parlays and an extended parlay segment, the moronic DGen parlays for those looking to hit some lottery ticket plays. So looking forward to talking about this card. Make sure you all smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe. Turn the post notifications on and make sure you share the video as well. We're going to start it off with last week's talk, which to me was a bit of a letdown. I had an underdog lock who fought really good. Billy Goff put a great performance on against Trey Waters, and personally, I scored the fight for him. Some have said to me, bro, you were biased, but there's a whole other side of it. I think it's split 50-50 that thought Billy Goff could have got the decision. Either way, Billy Goff is a dog in the future that I'll be looking at because the way that he fights is bettable. It's constant pressure. He's always looking for a way to win. Ultimately, it was still a loss, though. I took the L on the chin. It is what it is. Last week, we went underdog lock and lost. So this week, we're at the Apex. I said, you know what? Chalky locky time. So without further ado, let's get into it. It's the lock of the week.
Here is Abbas Magomedov!
Abbas Magomedov, yes, the chalky locky, but it had to be done because I am extremely sure that he's going to beat Warley Alves. And the odds for it, though wide, are not unrealistically wide here. He's minus 255 as a favorite. The knockout prop sits at plus 115. I think he is very live to knock out Warley Alves. James Krause knocked out Warley Alves down at 170 pounds. I feel like Abbas Magomedov is still a good fighter. It's just he fought Sean Strickland and Kyle Barajo, two very legit top tier middleweights. I mean, Barajo is one of the hottest prospects that's emerged into the top 15 this past year. And then Sean Strickland's the former champ. And he did win the first round against Strickland. So I'm not going to completely write him off because of two high caliber losses against Warley Alves, who's coming up from 170, got absolutely destroyed by Ikram Aliaskarov, has had a lot of lopsided performances. I mean, he fought decently against Nicholas Dalby in a competitive fight. And obviously Dalby ended up, exposing Bonfim as a prospect, but still styles make the fights. Abbas Magomedov should clearly win this fight. I think his striking from range will be on point. I think he will find the chin of Warley Alves because he's still a very dangerous fighter and I think he's going to knock him out. Magomedov to win by KO, like I said, is plus 115. But maybe I'm a little nuts because second round knockout doesn't seem that out of this world. That sits at plus 900. I'm feeling a second round KO. That is my Mystic Mac call for the lock, and it's 9-1 odds. If it did come to fruition, I think that'd be pretty sick. I feel knockout is live as well, plus 115. And obviously, the safest side is the money line side. Magomedov straight down the center. Magomedov will be included in the parlay section because I know some of you would be like, bro, I don't want to throw down minus 255. Money line, totally understandable. The value is not there. We're going to have some value calls as we keep running through this show, but starting it off with a true lock of the week with Abbas Magomedov, who's definitely going to win this fight against Warley Alves. Let's jump to the most confident pick section. I'll warn you guys, there are some chalky lockies here on this section too, but it's all good. We got some close money as well. Let's bring them all up on screen. We have Adrian Yanez, Tom Nolan, Chaos Williams, and Angela Hill. All right, let's go in order. We'll start with Adrian Yanez first, or Yanez, as he likes it pronounced now. He should kill Vinicius Salvador, and if he doesn't, I am completely giving up hope in him. I'm going to be extremely disappointed, not only for the betting side of things, but actually as a fan of Yanez who believed that he could make a real run towards that top 15, and then him losing two bad fights in a row to Rob Font and Jonathan Martinez. This should be a layup, okay? He should be sitting under the basket, laying it up with nobody there. But layups are missed. Sometimes it happens, man. But not here. Not with Vinicius Salvador. Yanez is going to dust him, okay? The money line sucks. Minus 375 for Yanez, fine. Parlay only. Really, you can't money line that unless you're Drake money in it. KO minus 150, kind of trash. Maybe you're parlaying the KO. We'll talk about that at the end. KO round 2, another prop, plus 400. So The most valuable thing you can do here is probably push it towards the parlay. I think the odds are very high that Giannis does win this fight, but the odds of the betting lines reflect the odds of the likelihood of his successes. At minus 375, you can't money line it. Knockout minus 150, good shot of a knockout, but you're still laying a bit of chalk down there. I'm going Giannis with confidence, though. Don't get it twisted. Just because it's not easy to money line doesn't mean you can't make money off of it if you're looking to bet on this one. So Giannis, definitely a parlay piece we'll talk about towards the end. Next one, Tom Nolan. He's minus 450, and I understand Nicholas Mota dusted him, but Nicholas Mota is a lot of a different level than Victor Martinez, okay? Nicholas Mota is a fucking powerhouse puncher with scary knockout power and legit UFC wins. I don't think Martinez is even UFC level. And Tom Nolan dusted Bogdan Grad, who since their fight is on a 2-fight winning streak, and I still think could become a UFC fighter. So Tom Nolan's beaten decent opposition outside of the UFC on Contender Series. Yes, he got destroyed in his debut, but it's Nicholas Mota, okay? I know Nicholas Mota's taken some bad L's, and there's moments where he leaves himself wild and gets caught, but he's always known for power. And he laid out Tom Nolan. Martinez got nothing for him. Now, yes, minus 450 reflects that. The KO, minus 190. Holy shit. Knockout in round one sits at plus 130 to throw some degeneracy your way if you're looking to try and go for the first round knockout, but you know, it's not great at plus 130. Again, Tom Nolan is in a spot where he's essentially a money line parlay only type of situation because minus 450 is just an atrocious straight money line bet. But we got more. We got Chaos Williams. Now this is where the value comes in. Minus 120, Chaos Williams. I think he's knocking Carlston Harris out. The knockout's plus 125. I don't think Carlston Harris is going to be able to stand with him. I think Carlston Harris is going to be shooting takedowns, and Chaos Williams' takedown defense is going to end up holding up here. I think Carlston Harris is sloppy as hell on the feet. The only way he's winning this fight is on the floor. But I also don't think he's that physically imposing. Not like a super strong guy. Chaos Williams is real strong on the inside. I think he can fend off these takedown attempts that I really expect Carlston Harris to be going for. And Carlston Harris probably going to look to clinch up, pressure him against the cage, hold, wear him down, take some time, garner some control. Chaos Williams needs one shot. Don't write Chaos Williams off because of 2 bad fights in a row. He fought Bedoya, and yes, it was a close decision. The fight was terrible. It was shit. Bad performance, for sure. Randy Brown, he dropped him multiple times, lose a split decision. Chaos Williams still has legit knockout power, and it takes the right opponent. This style here with Carlston Harris, who's a sloppier striker and somebody striking-wise I have never been impressed with, and kind of has to go towards wrestling pressure, where I don't think he's a great wrestler. He was getting bodied by Jeremiah Wells last time out. I think Chaos Williams has got a great chance to win by knockout. So knockouts plus 125. Knockout in the first round is very live as well at plus 300. But the money line of Chaos Williams is really valuable to me. Close money fight. I know he's a slight favorite. The people are wrong, though, because the masses are picking Carlston Harris. I've ran over to Tapology. I've looked what the people are thinking. And Carlston Harris right now on Tapology is a 63% pick. He's a people's underdog. Fade in the public a lot of times works out well. It did last week. Buckley Riziboyev, very similar situation here with Carlston Harris. He could end up being the fraud dog of the night. I think Chaos Williams pulls through. So confident on Chaos. Next one is Angela Hill. The ladies going after it with her and Pinheiro. I think Angela Hill is going to beat her by decision. Hill's a money line minus 135, but let's be real. If she's to win, how is it? It's decision. So why not? Decision plus 100. I think that's solid line. Likelihood is there. The over 2.5 sits at minus 450. That's a confident call, and that's a parlay addition maybe, but very shit if you're throwing straight down the center. Decision's live to money line. And I think Angela Hill outworks Pinheiro. I think Pinheiro's another one. The people are all on her. She's a people's underdog call, sitting at 62%. But they're overlooking Angela Hill's volume, overlooking Angela Hill's effectiveness of combinations. I had a full stumble there because I almost said Angela overkill Hill. I don't know, man. The lines from previous shows of talking about Angela Hill sometimes come back to haunt me. And that was a moment there. I was getting possessed for a second. Angela Hill's volume is there. Her hand speed is there. Her combination strikes are there. Her footwork is there. Her takedown defense is there. Pinheiro is okay, but the judo's not going to be thrown around Hill. The striking's not going to compete. The speed is not there. Angela Hill, if she loses, it's because she's towards the end of her career and now is slowing down. But if Angela Hill looks similar to previous fights, like last time out, fight before, even in matchups which she lost, I think that Angela Hill can beat a Luana Pinheiro, who I think has been a slightly overrated prospect. Decent athleticism, decent enough striking, judo base, but nothing that really has me saying, wow, I'm going Angela Hill by decision. I think she does pull it off. It's another confident call. Plus 100 for that decision side of Angela Hill. Those are the most confident picks. I'm going to jump to the next segment, which is the favorite underdog section. So we do have 3 underdogs we're rocking with this week. Heli Elatong, Edson Barboza, and Ramiz Brahimaj. Now, I'm going to go first with Heli Elatong. Elatong Haley. Depends where you're reading it. They say it either way. Plus 130. For me, he's my favorite underdog of the night because he's taking on Clayton Rodriguez, who's unproven. And I think the money line at plus 130 is extremely live for a guy with a shit ton of fight experience against Clayton Rodriguez, who's a former flyweight, who gassed out in previous fights, and in all honesty, doesn't seem to have his game fully figured out yet. He's a young guy. He's in his 20s. Elatong's not old either, though. And he's primed at this point. Good UFC record, 4-2-1. Yeah, not clean, knocking out everybody. He's in competitive fights. But last time, he fought Chris Gutierrez, who's a ranked contender. Clayton Rodriguez last time got destroyed by Farid Basharat, who is the better of the 2 Basharat brothers. Just so you know, that's the truth. He's better. Still, lost that fight clearly. So now he's taking on Elatong. Elatong can box. Elatong can wrestle. Elatong can pressure. Clayton Rodriguez, though his striking is smooth, has shown a deficiency in wrestling in previous fights. I think that's a worry here. Got bodied by Basharat, got taken down by Vergara. Only UFC win is Shannon Ross. I'm going Elatong all day. Heli Elatong plus 130. Now, I do think decision's live at plus 250, but the money line's way better. Over is live at minus 200, but give me the money line. Elatong's going to be what I'm going to consider the favorite dog of the show. He's not the only dog, though. Next one, Edson Barboza. The money line is plus 125. That's really the only way I could comfortably go on this one because, yes, Barboza could catch Murphy for a knockout, but I could see 5 rounds of work. And I do worry if Lerone Murphy is very successful with takedowns and if Edson Barboza can't keep him off at the UFC Apex. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of nerves, but I have never been impressed with Lerone Murphy. So I have to pick Edson Barboza because I think he can outstrike him. I think he can fend off the grappling attacks. And I think Lerone Murphy has fought a bunch of, average or below average tier guys or prospect level guys on the come up, and he hasn't beaten anybody good. And I know Edson Barboza's recent win, which was a hard fought comeback win over Sadiq Youssef, has kind of got tainted because of how easily Diego Lopez handled him. But I don't look at it as such. I think Diego Lopez is an amazing prospect. I think he's a legit prospect. Lerone Murphy might be overhyped. He's British, he's undefeated, but nothing from his performance has ever made me say, wow, I think that guy could be a champ. I don't see it. I see him as averagely well-rounded. If he wins this fight, it's probably wrestling, pressure, and control. If he goes out there and outstrikes Edson Barboza, I will be shocked. So give me Barboza. Just the money line, though. Plus 125. That would be the A side. Don't try to risk it. Yeah, you can throw down for a knockout and chase the big plus money. Let's see what the knockout's at. I didn't write it down because I wasn't anticipating calling it, but I'll bring it up. The knockout is what? Plus 235? I don't like it. Decision plus 375. If you're going Barboza, you money line it or you're staying the hell away from this fight. I think it probably goes over 2.5. It's minus 240. But, you're playing Russian roulette here because I will recognize Lerone Murphy undefeated. Barboza to win just makes sense to me. Knockout or decision are both live. I see him with the possibility of pulling it off, but I wouldn't bet your mortgage down on it. Actually, I would not bet your mortgage on anything, but, if you're that degen, that's your own business, okay? I'm just telling you what I'm thinking. Now, the next one is going to be Ramiz Brahimaj, which the confidence on this one for me kind of dwindled earlier today because Themba Gorimbo's coach's mother passed away, and now he's fighting for so much more. I'm like, how can I comfortably be picking Brahimaj as a confident underdog? I don't know. I worry about Themba Gorimbo's mentality. Not in a way that I'm worried in a negative for him. For him, it's great. For Brahimaj, it could be trouble. Brahimaj has a live submission threat. I do think he's pretty dangerous in catching necks. But there is a worry that Gorimbo's physical strength and just more imposing will could kind of push a Brahimaj to the breaking point because he did get bodied by Court McGee 2 years ago. Themba Gorimbo's got a freaky frame. It hasn't been a fight for 2 years for Brahimaj, and it was against Michael Gilmore, who was shit. Themba Gorimbo on the other side, Pete Rodriguez. Bro, honestly, like, this is a fight right now. I have to bring this up because it was earlier in the week, underdog pick, and I will bring everything up so you guys know where my head's been all week. This is one of those picks where, like, after weigh-ins, I feel like I could flip-flop to the side of Gorimbo. So I personally wouldn't throw any heat down until you see him on the scale, and you feel like, okay, maybe Gorimbo. You're like, okay, Brahimaj definitely got him. I don't know. I recognize Brahimaj on paper has a live submission threat, but Themba Gorimbo is a more physically imposing fighter. And because the line is not what it was, like, it was upwards of plus 170. So there's value on, a larger plus money tag. But when it comes down like this and it's near the 50-50 territory, do I really want to throw the hammer down on Brahimaj at plus 120? Sub props plus 170, maybe the sub props getting considered. I'm going to give myself some more time to sleep with this one here. This will be something to tune in to the weigh-in recap show and hear my final take on it. That's what I'm going to say about this matchup right here. Nonetheless, Brahimaj is still included in the section because he was a pick on Sunday. But there's some worries with this fight, so we'll talk more about it. Let's jump to the next segment, which is a very simple segment today. The DGen Props of the Night segment. I'm not even going to bring up fight odds because I'm just speaking of one. Melissa Gatto to win by submission is actually making a lot of sense to me. I think she can get Vidal in a sub. And the line for it currently sitting at plus 200. Not great. I don't really love the DGen Props of the Night segment for this week because a lot of fighters that I'm not picking, I wouldn't want to be throwing down hammers on. And we talked a lot of DGen bets already in the most confident picks and the favorite underdog section. So I think this was more of like an extra prop of the night as opposed to a typical DGen bets of the night because we really got some DGen round calls already earlier on. But what I am going to do is I am going to improve the parlay segment. I am going to bring the visual on screen. Instead of the old school, just going in blind, me clicking through on best fight odds, I have everything written out properly for you guys. We're going to go through it all. I'm going to talk about it all, but I have essentially the understanding of where I rank the confidence and what they are all written down. So first things first at the top. For me, Magomedov, Yanez, minus 130. This did seem like the safest. I see both guys winning. I think this is a high-quality safety parlay. Safer parlay. Safest up here. Is it saying you're definitely going to win? No. But is it possible to hit? And I think it probably does. Yeah. You're most likely going to win with this one. But I have to throw in the most likely. Do your own research. Don't go crazy. Bet intelligently. It's the fight game. Crazy shit happens. Chase Hooper dropped the former kickboxing champion. You see what I'm saying? Next one down, Nolan Yanez Magomedov, plus 110. Again, safer. I think probably hits. High confidence calls. Magomedov Yanez Hill Pinheiro over, plus 115. I do think that this one is also fairly safe because I think the ladies are going longer. And I think Magomedov and Yanez, like I said earlier, is high confidence, is safe. And you get a little plus money for it. Not bad. It's not bad at all. Going down the list. Magomedov, Yanez, and Williams. This is a nice alternate if you still like Magomedov and Yanez, but you don't want to throw an over in or you don't want to mess with Tom Nolan. Chaos Williams got a good chance to win. Plus 215 for that alternate right there. Now, Magomedov, Yanez, and Ella Tong. So we're throwing a dog into this one. We're going high confidence and we're going underdog attack. It's plus 315. I honestly think, looking at it, that one with the dog there with Ella Tong is really good. 315 is a money number. And I think there's a great chance that it comes to fruition because I'm high confidence on Magomedov and Yanez. And I really believe Clayton Rodriguez to be an overhyped prospect and not all that put together. So I honestly love that one. You can kind of hear the confidence in my voice with this one. For the dog included in one, that's a tremendous one. Now, Nolan, Yanez, the over 2.5 in the Hill Pinheiro one. This is another kind of more boring, typical one. It is minus 110. It's an alternate if you don't like my lock. If you don't want Magomedov for whatever reason, you're a Warley Alves believer. You're one of the fucking 100, I don't know, maybe not even, maybe one of the 10 in the whole world. Maybe him, his team, and like a couple of Brazilians. Then listen, maybe that one's for you. Now, we got Magomedov, Yanez, Nolan, and the Hill Pinheiro over. It seems very live. Again, I know some people will be worried about Nolan. I think plus 160 tag has got a fair chance to hit. Now, this next one is going to be a complete alternate. Williams and Hill. This excludes a lot of the other calls because I know, I don't know, some people need to see that alternate side. It is plus 215. And you know what? Close money favorites, Williams and Hill. I've said I think they both hit. I think they could potentially be, a good idea to fade against the public and throw them in a parlay together. You get, a little more than 2-1. Now, the next one, brings in the high confidence Yanez and Abus Magomedov together, but we're going Yanez by KO. I think this one's also very likely. It's plus 160. It's solid. Obviously there's a little bit of risk in there, right? Because what if Yanez wins a decision? You'll be smacking yourself, but it gives you plus 160 as opposed to minus 130. So, $10 is going to make you 16, $100 going to make you the 160, whereas, minus 130, you got to throw a little bit of more heat down to make anything special. The next one is going to be a risky call. Magomedov, Yanez, Elatong, and Williams all together. It's plus 640. It brings you to a nice plus money territory with high confidence, with value, and with underdog, but it is higher risk. Now, the next one is going to be very risky. Magomedov, Yanez, Elatong, Williams, the Hill, Pinheiro, over 2.5. When you put a lot of pieces together, you're in that high-risk territory. It's plus 815, but you're getting 8-1. Then you're going 10-1 on the next one. You got the plus 1,000. Magomedov, Yanez, Elatong, Williams, Nolan, and the Hill, Pinheiro over at what? Plus 1,000. That's risky AF. But it's not as risky as the next section. So if you guys are enjoying, make sure you smash the likes. This next section, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I just hadn't committed to. So here it is. This right here, we're calling it moronic degen parlays. This is extreme degeneracy. This right here is for those looking for the lottery ticket. Officially, the name will probably be the lottery ticket parlays, but moronic degen parlays look great for the graphics. So this is going to have props with some money lines, confidence in all different damn directions. Holy hell. Magomedov by knockout, Yanez by knockout, Angela Hill by decision, Elatong money line, Williams money line, plus 3,680. Okay. Magomedov, KO, round 2. Yes, you're a degen doing it. Yanez, KO, Hill, decision, Elatong money line, Williams money line, Gatto by submission. We're looking at plus 12,180. That is crazy. Yeah, but it could come to fruition. None of these results are that crazy. I think they all have possibility of coming through. Now, if you don't want Gatto in, I got the same one with the Magomedov KO round 2 without Gatto at plus 13,400. So that's a little something to look at. And actually, I just realized something. The graphic is slightly wrong. This one here that says Magomedov KO round 2, the second one down, ignore that. That's just a straight Magomedov KO line. I mistyped it with the Gatto sub. So hopefully you listen to this so you're not looking at it wrong. The Magomedov KO is important on that other one. Now the bottom one is back to KO round 2. That also throws Gatto by sub. All of it together plus 43,600. What is the likelihood of these insane calls hitting? Probably on the lower side. They're lottery ticket plays. But I felt it was worth looking at. And you never know in this game. Eventually, I'm going to hit something absolutely nuts, so I might as well put it together and do it right here on the show. The moronic degen parlays, extreme degeneracy, the lottery ticket plays. I hope you guys enjoyed the new segment. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of this week's Best MMA Bets. Let me know what you thought of the new graphics, too, for the parlays. Instead of me just flicking through best fight odds, do you like when it's laid out in front of you? I want to know what you guys are thinking. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate everybody. Let me know what you thought in the comments. W in the comments if you got nothing to say. Smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe it up. Daily content on the channel. You don't want to miss it. So post notifications, you might as well turn them on. Daily content consistently coming. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.